Hello students, welcome you all in this video. Now I have started chapter number 1, Matter in Our Surrounding, class 9 science, and already introduction video of this chapter I have completed. Now we are going to move towards the chapter. So we will start with the first concept, that is physical nature of matter. So as you can see, whatever notes I have taken to teach you, these all notes are from your NCERT book only. And I'm going to complete one by one concept slowly from your book in separate videos. So I hope you will like the explanation of these all the videos. And whatever these notes I'm giving in the sentence, you can see these all the notes, you can write it in your notebook and prepare your separate notes. So let's start. So now we are going to start with physical nature of matter. So in this, we are going to study many points. So the first point is, that is 1.1.1, matter is made up of particles. So we have to explain, we have to prove that matter is made up of particles. So as I have explained in my earlier video, that is what is matter? Matter is anything around us, or matter is anything in the universe which has some mass and which occupy some space, that is called as matter. So there are so many things around us: book, pen, table, chair, tree, house, etc. These all comes under matter. Even our own body comes under matter. So now we are going to start the physical nature of matter, and the first one is matter is made up of particles. For a long time, scientists had two different ideas about the nature of matter. So in earlier days, scientists used to think two different ideas. Scientists used to, they have given two different ideas about the nature of matter. So what are those? First one, that is called continuous theory. What is this continuous theory? It is nothing but some scientists believed that matter is continuous. So, in earlier days, some of the scientists, what do you mean by this? According to them, matter has no empty space and is like a solid block of wood. So, in earlier days, scientists, according to continuous theory, some of the scientists used to think that there is no gap or there is no empty space between the matter. Matter is continuous, like solid block of wood. So, if you imagine a solid block of wood, there will be no space in between. It is a complete block of wood. If you imagine a brick, if you imagine a duster, or if you imagine some solid thing like a chalk, there will be no space in between. It is a complete block. So like that, matter is. They used to think like this. Then there were some of the scientists used to think in the other way, and that theory is called particulate theory. So I hope you're understanding. Some of the scientists used to think, according to continuous theory, that matter is continuous. There is no space, there is no gap in the matter. And there were some of the scientists used to think that, believe that matter is made up of very tiny particles like grains of sand. So some of the scientists used to think matter is not a continuous thing. It is not a block of wood. It is having small tiny particles like grain of sand. You maybe have seen sand. Sand consists of some of the small particle like this. Some particles will be very small, some particles will be little bit big, and the combination of the small and big particles, you will get a sand. So scientists used to think that matter is consist of very tiny particles like grains of sand. To understand which idea is correct, scientists performed experiments. So as you can see here, some of the scientists used to think matter is continuous like a solid block of wood. Some of the scientists used to say matter is made up of very tiny particles like grains of sand. So now how to see that which is the correct theory which can be applied for matter? And to explain this, scientists performed many experiments. So activity 1.1, matter is made up of particles. So in this activity or in this experiment, we have to prove matter is made up of particles. So what we are going to do this, see here, procedure. So take 100 ml of beaker, fill half the beaker with water. So I have to take 100 ml of beaker, and in that I am going to take water that is half of the beaker and mark the water level. So here I am going to take water in a beaker. Imagine this is a beaker, and in this beaker, half of the beaker I am going to take water. So imagine this is the amount which I have taken water, and here I have to mark the area till where water is present. So here I have marked, see here. So till here I have taken water in this beaker. Now add some salt or sugar into water. Now what I have to do? I have to add little amount of salt or little amount of sugar into that water. Same thing I have taken here diagram. This is the diagram from your NCERT book only, you can see. So this is the beaker, and this I have taken half of the beaker water, and here I can mark the level of the water in this beaker. So now we'll move to the next. I have to add little amount of salt or sugar into this water. So see here, add salt into the water. So you can see the spoon. So here I'm going to add sugar or salt you can add. Now the next, stir it using glass rod until it dissolves. Now what you have to do after adding this salt or sugar into the beaker, you have to use this stirrer and stir it. Stir it completely till that salt or the sugar which we have added, it get completely dissolved. Now the next, observe the water level carefully. Already, already we have marked the water level. See here, I have marked this water level, and now you have to observe the level of this water in the beaker carefully. Now the next thing, observations. Once you observe, what you can see, the salt or sugar disappears in the water. So as we all know, whenever we add salt or sugar into the water, it completely dissolves, means it will disappear in the water. The water level does not increase significantly. After adding the sugar or the salt, after dissolving it completely, when we observe the level of this water, the level of the water remains same. Whatever was the level of water in the starting, same level of water will remain after dissolving or disappearing of that salt or the sugar. This is the observation. Now, based on this observation, what you can say? We can say that the salt or sugar does not actually disappear. Means there is no any magic that the salt and sugar has got to disappear. It breaks into very tiny particle and spreads throughout the water. So that salt or the sugar which are added, that will break into small particle. Imagine these are the sugar particles, and once we add the sugar particle into the water, they will dissolve. Means what? This one single particle of sugar will break into small particles like this, and the same thing will happen with all the particles of the sugar, this or maybe this. So these all the particles will break into very tiny particles, small particles like this, and these all small tiny particles, then they will spread everywhere. So imagine if this is a big particle of sugar, when this will break, when these two sugar particle will break, what will happen? Those small particles or the tiny particles will spread everywhere, all throughout the water. Those all the particles will get spread. Next, these particles occupy the spaces between the water. Now you can see in this diagram, these blue color are the water molecules, and once we added the sugar or salt, those all small tiny particles will spread like this, and they will occupy the space present between the water molecules. I hope you are understanding. So see here, these red colors are considered as salt, and the blue color are considered as water molecule. So what the salt particle are doing? They are occupying the spaces present between the water molecule. They are they are not increasing the quantity of water. They are not occupying the space present above the water. They are taking the space which is present in between the water molecule, and that's why the level of water is not at all increasing. Whatever the level of water was there at the starting, the same level of water will remain at the end when salt and sugar will get dissolved. So based on this, what we can say? So the conclusion is, this activity shows that matter is made up of tiny particles. Particles of matter have space between them. So according to this observation, what we can say, matter is not continuous. Matter is made up of tiny particles, and these all tiny particles have little bit of space between them, and in that space the tiny particles of salt or sugar has been occupied. So it is proved that matter is made up of tiny particles, and also it is proved that there is a space between these all the particles. So I hope you are understanding what I have explained here. I will repeat it once again. So see the first beaker, what I did, I took a beaker. In that beaker, half of the beaker I took water. So these all blue color circle you can see here, these all are water molecules. Now I have added salt or a sugar little bit into this beaker. Stir it well and observe carefully. When you observe carefully, the water level which was there at the starting, the same water level will remain after disappearing or after dissolving the salt and sugar. Then where those salt and sugar molecule went? There is no any magic. It has not got disappeared. Then what happened? Salt or water molecule has broken into small particles like this, and these all the small particles of salt and sugar has occupied the space which is present in between the water molecule. So it proves that matter is made up of very tiny particles. So what is this water? Water is a matter, and matter is made up of tiny particle. In between those all the tiny particles there is a space, and in that space the salt or sugar which are added has been occupied, and therefore the water level remains same. So it is proved that matter is made up of particles. So this was your first activity. Now we will see the next activity. Now we are going to see the next activity, which is going to prove matter is made up of very tiny particles. So as I told, matter is made up of particle, we have proved it, but particles are very tiny. That we are going to prove it with the help of activity number 1.2. So see the procedure. Take 2 to 3 crystals of potassium permanganate. So potassium permanganate, that is nothing but KMnO4. So these are the purple color crystals. So we are going to take only 2 to 3 crystals of this potassium permanganate and dissolve them in 100 ml of water. So see the first beaker, we have taken 100 ml of water. So you can see this is water in a beaker, that is 100 ml. In this 100 ml of water, now we are going to add 2 to 3 crystals of potassium permanganate, purple color crystal. Once we add those crystals, you can see here I have added only 2 crystals. This is the diagram from your NCERT book itself. So once we add these 2 crystals into this 100 ml water, the whole water will become purple color. Now the next, the water becomes purple in color. Take 10 ml of this solution and add it to 90 ml of clear water. Now see what I have taken. From this, we have to take only 10 ml, add this to 90 ml of water. So 90 plus 10 will become again 100 ml. So see, 90 ml of clear water. Again take 10 ml of from this new solution, add it to another 90 ml of clear water and repeat it 5 to 8 times. So now see, now this has become 100. From this again take 10 ml, add it to 90 ml, total becomes again 100. Again take 10 ml from this, add it to 90 ml of clear water, it becomes again 100 ml. From this again take 10 ml, add it to next how much? 90 ml of clear water, total it becomes again 100 ml, and this procedure you have to repeat it 5 to 8 times. So I hope you understood the procedure. What we have to do here, take 100 ml of water, clear water, add 2 crystals of potassium permanganate, the whole water becomes purple in color. Now from this first beaker you take 10 ml of this water purple color, add it to next 90 ml of clear water, total amount becomes 100. Now from this again take 10 ml, add it to clear 90 ml of water, it again becomes 100 ml, again take 10 ml, add it to clear. So every time we are going to add it to clear 90 ml of water, and this you are going to repeat it 5 to 8 times. Now what is the observation? Even after many dilution, this is nothing but you are diluting. Every time you are adding 90 ml of clear water, so you are diluting, water amount is increasing. So even after many dilution, the water still remains colored. Here you can see purple color. The next you can also see still it is in purple color. Next you can see still it is in purple. Maybe the concentration of color is decreasing. This is little bit of dark. This is compared to the first one, it is light. This is still light. This is still light. And it is getting light and light in purple. But still you can see it has a small amount of purple color in it. So see here what I have written. Even after many dilution, the water still remains colored. Each time the solution is diluted, the number of potassium permanganate particle becomes smaller in the water, but the color still appears because very small number of particles can color a large amount of water. It is very clear. So see here, once we add two crystals in the first beaker, there will be very small amount of particles. There will be some amount of particles of potassium permanganate in the first beaker. But when we take 10 ml from this, small amount of particles will be transferred to 100 ml, next 90 ml of water. So compared to first beaker, the crystals of potassium permanganates are less in the second beaker. Now what we are going to do? Again we are going to take 10 ml. So compared to second beaker, in the third beaker, again there are less crystals, but still it is giving purple color. When we again transfer 10 ml, if we compare the crystals with first, second and third beaker, here the crystals are very less, but still it is giving purple color. So after diluting 5 to 8 times, still we are getting a purple color, means here very small number of particles can color large amount of water. So what is the conclusion based on this? This activity shows that particles of matter are extremely small. So see here, it is very clear that particles of matter are extremely small. Even a small amount of substance contains millions of particles. I hope you are understanding. Even a small amount of substance, maybe we are taking only 10 ml, but in this 10 ml, the number of particles, there will be how many? Millions of particles present in this 10 ml of solution. And that's why even after diluting 5 to 8 times we are getting color, because every in a small amount we can see how many millions of particles. And if you can see millions of particles, then the size will be very small, which we cannot imagine also that much small it will be. Therefore it is proved that matter is made up of very tiny particles. So I hope you understood this activity. So here I have completed two activities from this topic. The next activity we are going to see in the next video. I hope you will get the help of these all the videos. Make the notes of these all the points in your book. Whenever there will be exam, it will help you to prepare for your test or for your exam. And if you are getting little bit also help from these all the videos, please share my videos with your friends and consider subscribing my channel. Thank you so much.